Guys, I'm back with yet another unboxing. You guys keep asking for these, so I'm going to keep doing them, and I keep getting products every week, so we're just going to keep the ball rolling. This is keeping with the current theme here on the Best Damn EDC, and it is an EDC utility knife. This is the Gil-Tek RUK. I am super excited to get into this box. It came yesterday, and it took all I had to not open the box right away. After the last video, Tyler reached out and said, hey, I saw the Gil-Tek RUK in your EDC Weekly video. I want you to try it yourself. So he actually sent me 3 different versions of the Gil-Tek RUK. I'm super excited, so let's get inside this box. Let's stop wasting time and get inside this package because I have been waiting. It's so hard when a new package comes in and my unboxing setup is not ready because it takes a while to set this up. And once it's set up, it's not hard to make these videos. But setting it up is quite the process. And I did not have that yesterday. I had a lot of stuff going on yesterday. So inside, we open this up and there is a Gil-Tek logo. What is this? It looks almost like a playing card. So there are, I believe, 3 different versions stuck down in here. Yeah, okay, get the box out of the way. And as you can see, it is just simple packaging here, plastic with the logo here, and it looks like an informational card inside. So inside here, there are 3 different versions, and I've got to figure out what is what. One of these is titanium, 2 of them, I believe, are aluminum, and I'm not quite sure which is which. So let's go ahead and cut the plastic, and I'll go ahead and talk about some of the differences between the 2, because there are differences between the 2 different versions. This is the titanium version of the Gil-Tek RUK, and the reason you can tell that is because this side here is polished. Obviously, it is a little different texture than the other 2. Those are very similar. It's also thinner, and it is just a little nicer as far as fit and finish goes. And I was actually talking to Tyler earlier today, and he said one of the reasons he designed this, as you can tell, it is pretty similar in design to some of the other tools out there, but it is different, and I'm going to show you why. So you can close the Rexford RUT with one hand, but what you can't do with it or the titanium pocket tool easily, I have to clarify, you can't do it easily, is open it one-handed, and that was why he said he wanted to make this tool, is because you can easily open it with one hand and lock that blade in, and boom, in and out, one-handed. It works for me. I'm left-handed, and it works just as well whether I'm left or right-handed. You just have to hold it backwards. So if you are left-handed, don't worry, you can still open this tool one-handed. But the aluminum version is a little bit thicker. As you can see here, maybe 1/8 of an inch, not even 1/8 of an inch thicker. It is definitely thicker, but the aluminum is a hair lighter, I believe. I'm not entirely sure what the specs are on that. There you go, you've got this nice wide opening there for a lanyard if you want to put a lanyard on it. And that's really all there is to it, just very simple opening. I'm not entirely sure how to take the blade out altogether, but let's take a look at this because this looks like it explains how to do that exactly. But here, this says operation: depress center of blade while holding blade down, push blade out until it stops to reveal the cutting edge. Let pressure off the blade to lock it into position. Depress the back of the blade and pull the blade back in. So that's deployment. Blade change. With the blade locked in the out position, keep pressure on the back of the blade towards you. While holding the blade towards you, press on spot marked and push blade out of the RUK. So to get the blade out, you would deploy it. And with the blade deployed, push on the back of the blade. Or is he pushing it to you? I'm not entirely sure how to get this out of here. Push here. Okay, whoa, that was intense. It's tough, it's definitely secure. That was one thing I was a little concerned with, is one-handed deployment not being super secure, but it's definitely secure. I don't feel like the blade's ever gonna come out of there. I haven't even touched this one. So this is the black Cerakoted version of the RUK. And the thing about this RUK is that if you get it in aluminum from him, you can actually get it in multiple colors. There's a purple color, I believe there's blue, green, all sorts of different colors. So if you don't like this raw aluminum finish, or if you don't want to spend the extra dollars for the titanium, or you don't like black, which is typically the only colors you see in something like this, you can get a nice little color. Just check out the website and there are many to choose from. Yeah, this one's a lot easier. So it might just take a little breaking in. I remember with the titanium pocket tool, it took a little getting used to, but this one is definitely easier to operate than the gray one. Let's try it with the titanium one. Oh, that one's much easier. I can immediately feel how easy that one is too. It does kind of get locked up there on all of them when you're pulling the blade completely out, which that's really only a thing if you're trying to completely get your blade out, which is when you're blade changing, which isn't going to be nearly. Oh, that's why there's a stopper. Oh, I totally overlooked that. That's what it means, pulling the blade towards you. Keep pressure on the blade towards you. Read, Taylor, read and learn. Pull the blade towards you, pull back here. So maybe I'm the idiot. Maybe that's the problem. I'm the idiot. There's that tab, push on the back of the blade. Wow, Taylor, if you actually read things, it's amazing what you can learn. I was wrong. It's just as easy as I thought. And this one, I think it's a little easier on this one than either of these because it is that Cerakoted finish is a little smoother than these. These are a little textured, and that's, I think, why this one's so much easier to deploy. So if you're looking for that smooth action, I think a Cerakoted one might be a better option for you. But other than the thickness and maybe a little weight difference, really the only difference between this titanium one and the aluminum versions is price. So with this one, the titanium version is $85. So that's going to be kind of pricey for some of you out there, especially for just a little utility knife. But these aluminum versions are actually only 35 bucks. And that puts it down into the realm of some of the other ones that I'm going to be talking about in the roundup video, which is really, really nice. Honestly, one of the things I said in the reasons not to add a utility knife like this to your EDC is because it's really kind of hard to get a good purchase on one. And this one, it's got a good grip there. The one thing about that little finger choil, if you want to call it that, it does kind of slant up towards the blade, so I wouldn't put a ton of pressure on that. As you can see, that finger choil, your finger could easily just slip forward on that. But if you're not gripping it too terribly hard, or if you're gripping the right way with your finger kind of pulling towards you, that shouldn't be too bad. That's just one thing to take note of. But yeah, this, I can already tell I can get a better purchase on that than I can the titanium pocket tool from Big Idea Design, which is my personal, that's the one I carry every day. It's not exactly a one-handed tool. You've got to use two hands usually to get that blade out, but you do have a little easier selection of how far out you want the blade to be. It works really well with these Linux blades, but that has been one of my biggest issues with this titanium pocket tool is getting a good grip on it and not feeling like it's gonna just slip right out of my hand. But that is one thing I like a little more about the Rexford RUT is that it's got that little tab on the end, the pry bar at the very end of it, and that gives you much better grip overall, and you get kind of the best of both worlds there. It's got that longer grip, and when you're done with it, I love the closing on the Rexford RUT. This thing, however, is $140. This is the version 2. You can't really find these anymore unless you find one used. But there is a version 3 out, and I believe it's like 160 bucks. So yeah, these are expensive. The titanium pocket tool from Big Idea Design is much closer to the titanium version of the RUK price-wise. The pocket tool from Big Idea Design, I believe this one is $65 to $70, just depending on where you buy it. You can get this on Amazon, which is a really nice thing. You can't typically find any of the other ones on Amazon, but this one is $85.35. So there you go. This is the Gil-Tek RUK. This is the titanium, aluminum, and a black Cerakoted version. They range from $35 to $85. That is a great place to be positioned in the market, especially if you're in the market for one and you're looking at something like the titanium pocket tool or the Rexford RUT. This is a really good place to go. You can buy one for as little as 35 bucks, and I think that's fantastic. Kudos to Gil-Tek for coming up with a one-hand deployment solution for this that locks in place. That's really great. I like that a lot. And it's easy to get used to. A lot of these have kind of a bit of a learning curve when it comes to using them. It took me a long time to figure out how to use the titanium pocket tool easily. And if you're smart, you can actually deploy this one-handed, but it's not exactly ergonomic to do so. So you can do it, but it's not the easiest thing to do. This is designed to be one-handed, and I like that a lot. So if you want to buy one yourself or see what other options are available, you can go to his website. It's linked down below, and if you use the coupon code BESTDAMNEDC at checkout, you're going to get up to 25% off. So I highly recommend it if you're looking at one of these style utility blades for your EDC. That's a really, really good price to get in with one of these. And I think it's appropriate. Some of these prices for these, is really, I'd say almost inflated because they're hard to come by, man. And these are a really, really good price. So go ahead and hit that link down below. And if you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, hit the thumbs up button down below and subscribe to see more stuff like this in the future, and hit that bell notification to be notified when I upload a new video. Of course, every single Thursday, there is the EDC Weekly where I feature your EDCs. You can submit yours at edcw.co. But also be sure to follow us around the web. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at bestmedc. You can find me, Taylor Martin, on Twitter and Instagram at CasperTech. And until next time, carry on.